Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and I hope you are all having a great day or a great night wherever you guys are. And yeah, we're going to be talking about the overall crypto market. We're going to be talking about Bitcoin. We're going to be talking about what to expect as we do range on into the later week. And we're just going to be addressing a few concerns overall. So with that being said, let's talk about first off, coin market cap. So we do see meme coins making their way throughout the market. We do see some, ranging about 4,000% and so forth. Overall, right now the market looks fairly good, right? We're still looking good in regards to the quarter four pump. Things are looking fairly strong at major support levels still. We are seeing Bitcoin dominance drop a little bit, but most altcoins still haven't made their way in regards to a major move. We do see some altcoins like Luna up 10%, but HBAR and XRP haven't been ranging too much, and we're going to be talking about that. But first, before we get into everything, I just want to let you guys know that if you do want insights to my exit strategies and all that kind of stuff, you guys could get that on NCashOfficial.com. This is where I have all my crypto insights, as well as the full Ultimate Crusader Trading Pack at $55.99, which all new products will be included in this for free if you do get the Ultimate Crusader Trading Pack. You guys are not obligated to purchase anything on this website. I'm just letting you guys know for anybody who is interested in that. But when we're talking about fear and greed levels within this market, I always say, when something's in the green up here, this is time to, get a little bit concerned, because this is where you want to be selling, if anything. And I'm not saying sell your altcoins, absolutely not. I think the time for selling and rebuying the dip is far over. I would not do that right now. I would not say, hey, sell your altcoins and wait for a dip, because that's just not a good point at the current level in this market. And the reason why I say that is because it looks like we are ranging to have that nice quarter four blow off top if we do see a blow off top, but it's still going to be a major rally throughout the entire markets, including our altcoins. So I would not risk selling. Plus, also, if you do sell any altcoins, any sort of selling is a taxable event, so I would not consider it right now. I think that the risk to reward factor is just not good. But we did see yesterday the greed levels peak above about 68. Now we are at extreme greed levels, as I was saying yesterday. Watch for those extreme greed levels. And now with this, we always talk about Bitcoin, right? What could be happening at Bitcoin levels right now? Well, let's first off go back to the initial, period of us moving up in price. So we could see we'll just go off of a major point of a correction back here. So here's like a really good point of a correction going back to December, all the way to this nice move to the topping point of a roughly 91% of a move up in price. Now, this 91% move in price allowed us to have a nice 31.21% correction. From the bottoming point here to around the topping point up here was another 102% of an increase in price. From this point on, we have some tapering off in regards to percentages. But again, this is going off of bottoming points. Realistically speaking, off of a major pullback, we could even go off of something like this, where the percentage increase is a little bit different. But again, when we're talking about a lot of these pullbacks, they are significant in regards to how much something increases in price. We actually see Bitcoin getting weaker and weaker as we do increase in price, going from this point forward. And then this nice little correction of around 18%. Again, you see the percentages in increases and also decreases actually taper off significantly as we do continue to move up to the all-time high. Now, this next move right here was roughly around 29%. Now, this actually led for a deeper correction. This was actually about a 27%. But this was leading us to what, of course, occurred in May, where we had that nice dropping point. Why are these percentages, important right now? Well, it's very simple, right? So first off, let's address what was happening over here throughout the summer months into the fall months. So right now, currently, if we go all the way back to July, off of this bottoming point here to the first correction. So this was roughly around a 44% overall move in regards to a major move on Bitcoin. And then we had that nice little pullback of roughly around 12, almost 13%. Okay? Now, we had this next major move up here to roughly around 25.74%, with another slight pullback of only around 6.81%. So when we're talking about these major moves, this all occurred within pullback stages. Again, this was like roughly around a 9% pullback. Again, a move up, all sort of going through a major pullback point. Now, if we go off of the bottoming point here to this major topping point here, which was roughly around a 20.24% pull in regards to going up, this was actually a fairly deep drop in price, as you guys do see here at around 25.41%. This was 20.24%, but all in all, this was a major move upward. If we actually get rid of all of these percentages and we actually look at this major move all the way from the bottoming to the top, and we talk about that nice percentage drop in price, you know, this actually isn't that bad of a pullback because we actually increased 80%. So this actually wasn't even a 50% pullback from that topping point. And the reason why I'm talking about this is because when we're talking about the current level that Bitcoin just hit, right? This is roughly around, you know, a 40, almost one, well, if I could get the topping point, there we go, 40.88% of a nice jump in price. Again, this is like $16,000, almost $200 from that bottoming point. When we're talking about a slight pullback or a slight correction, because I've been talking about this for a little bit of time. You know, right now, we've only dropped down about 5%. Now, say for so, we double down and we do about like, I don't know, roughly, we'll just say 12.50%, because I think that around that point would be a good pullback point. We're still around that 48.8K point, and this would allow us to actually have another significant move in price around 40%. 40%, I just want to give you guys an insight, a 40% jump from that correction point would bring us to about $68,500, nearing my topping points of 75 to 85K. I understand that there's a lot of blow off top, points or targets of like $250,000 to $350,000 for Bitcoin. I am not betting on those getting targeted at all, but I've already given you guys those insights. Now, when we're talking about this, this would play out perfectly in regards to a nice, healthy market change. But we don't have to have this deep of a correction for this to actually occur anyways. Because when we go back here, we've seen 18% pullbacks from a massive 44%. We've seen, even deeper corrections just from a 29%. So the percentages aren't exact. We can't bet on a percentage being the exact point where we do drop off at. But I will say this, right? Going back to, previous cycle patterns and how Bitcoin does correct, we already know from the Fibonacci levels that it likes to, recorrect or reject off of the 702. We already bounced off of that. We already went above it. But we do know about the 768. We talk about a lot of those Fibonacci levels as well throughout the Discord, because I do know there's a lot of people in the Discord that love to talk about, TA. Encrypt 30 is incredible with it. Much appreciated to him. But overall, when we're talking about these points where we're seeing a major point of, weakness or rejection, around this point would be a nice little corrective state. But we don't have to have a correction that's deep or anything in regards to a correction or a pullback, because realistically speaking, we could be repeating the same pattern that we did back here, where we traded a little bit sideways and then had this nice little rally again, which wouldn't be too crazy. It would actually make sense if we did something like this, where we did repeat that same sideways trading again, doing something like this, and then we pretty much broke above these key fractal levels. But this would trade sideways until the 9th, which we do know that the 9th is Saturday. And then on the 10th, we would have a rally, which would close us above key levels that we need to be at for the weekly close. And this would allow us to rally on Monday, which would be the 11th. This would make sense to me. I think that this would be fairly good to see as well. I'm just giving you guys the basis on what we could be expecting. And this is exactly why I say don't sell your altcoins, or don't, try to leverage your altcoins or anything like that in a shorting method. Of course, there's people out there that will trade. That's totally fine. Now, in regards to Bitcoin, and let's talk about HBAR and, XRP, and I do apologize for saving this for the end of the video, but I do want to talk to you guys a little bit about HBAR and also XRP closely here, right? So, when we're talking about HBAR and we're talking about XRP, they look extremely weak on the USD charts. I understand that a lot of people will say, well, they don't realistically because we're still riding, the 50-day MA. We're still riding some major support and resistance points, and that's good to see. That's totally fine. But we actually need to be back up in strong demand. We actually want to be back up in these levels up here between the 42 centile and the 46 centile range. So we are actually fairly close, or I should say a little bit farther away from these levels than we are from, the major bottoming points down here. So I realistically want to see HBAR break out of this support channel up here, or I should say resistance channel, and flip this into support. But if we look at the HBAR Bitcoin pair, okay, now we're seeing some resistance at the 50-day MA here. So what I want to see on the Bitcoin pair is some nice strength. I want to see us currently back in this nice demand zone between the 750 and 789 sat level. This will allow us to retest 827 to 875 sats. We need to be back in here. This is what we want to see, because right now these Bitcoin pairs look extremely weak. Same with XRP. Check out XRP's overall Bitcoin pair. This is extremely weak, but we are bouncing off of some key support, but it's not realistically support anyways. This is actually a resistance point going back to April, and this is a support level going back to June 21st, but we do see this did not hold at all fairly well. We actually want to be back above the 200-day MA, which is at around 2,191 sats. That is what we want to be above, okay? Then we have to target the 50-day MA up at around 2325 sats. So we have a far way to go on a lot of these altcoins, and this is the idea of how fast could these alts really move. And they could move very fast if Bitcoin will allow it, but Bitcoin dominance is trading between a nice resistance and support zone. It has bounced significantly off of the 43-44% level. So until we do see a nice rejection off of a major resistance point on the Bitcoin dominance pair, we're not going to see too much breakouts happening on the USD pairs, and that goes for a lot of these altcoins. Now, I will say this, XRP, for what it is worth, has been holding this nice demand zone fairly strong, which is very good to see. We also bounced off the 200-day MA fairly closely at around the 98 cent zone, almost 99 cents. So this is good to see. But we do need a major breaking point. We need a major breakout level on a lot of altcoins. But there is still the idea that we do need Bitcoin to range, right? We need Bitcoin to kind of just trade sideways a little bit, find some strength, just kind of stabilize a little bit while Bitcoin dominance kind of breaks down a little bit, and we do see money flowing into altcoins rather than Bitcoin. So when we're talking about XRP and we're talking about HBAR, I'm not going to get too excited, right? I'm not going to get too excited on these at all. I'm very excited for Bitcoin breaking out and seeing these major levels, and I would like to see something like this play out, where we do target about almost $63,000, which is my main target point by the end of this month. But we do know that October could get a little bit volatile in the first half. So we are watching Bitcoin very closely here, as well as Bitcoin dominance. I'm personally not really watching altcoins too closely here, because there's no real point to watch altcoins right now when the spotlight's on Bitcoin right now. I will say this though, I have been watching the dollar closely, as you guys are aware. I've been talking about the dollar forever now on this channel, but that's because the dollar is pretty much the key as well. We have a lot of things that has to play perfectly out for us, which is, the dollar, Bitcoin dominance, of course, Bitcoin itself. But I'm watching these levels very closely. We did see the indices, fairly good today, but I don't really care about the indices because it looks like, all of crypto has decoupled away from this, which I've been talking about a little bit here and there. So what could we be expecting, right? Well, we could either have a solid correction, which would be a buy point for a lot of people. That correction would be around, if I had to, pretty much make an observation here, it would be a nice correction off of the 49.3k point. This would be an 11.25 or an 11.52% point of a drop, which wouldn't be too crazy. Or we could just drop to about $50,000 and have a 10.33% correction. And then this will allow us to hit these nice targets up here, which in my opinion would make a little bit more sense than us just kind of ranging sideways and breaking out. But either way, these have a 50-50 probability of both of them playing out, right? Either one could play out perfectly. We just have to watch and see some sort of validation point. So I'm watching this closely. I'm watching for a breakdown below 52.7K or a breakout point around the 56.8K point on Bitcoin. In regards to HBAR and XRP, I'm just watching their Bitcoin pairs, right? I don't care about the USD pair at all, right? Like HBAR could rally all the way to 50 cents, but as long as the Bitcoin pair looks like this, I'm not getting excited. So right now, the main point to target is, somewhere around this nice little 716 to around 750 point to kind of do something that we did back here, right, in the beginning of September. This would be the bullish idea to see what would happen on HBAR, right? But again, when we're talking about this, is this, logical to see happen right now? I don't think so, right? I think that this happens later on in the month, which would play perfectly into what I was talking about. This would start pretty much at the end of the month, ranges to around the end of the month as well, because this would start on the 21st. This would go to the 25th. This would allow us to break out and have that nice, possible dollar test by the end of the month. XRP, I'm watching XRP in regards to Bitcoin dominance, because if we do break it back up into this nice level up here, which is like almost the 2700 sat level, that is very significant for us to see the USD pair actually break out up around the $1.20 to $1.40 plus level, which could get very, very bullish for us very fast. So with that being said, I'm watching a lot of these levels closely. The altcoin market cap looks fairly good. Right now we are in nice points of demand before we hit the all-time high. Just to give you guys a little bit of an insight, right now, from the current level to the all-time high on the altcoin market cap, we are only 13% away. So things are looking good for altcoins. There's actually a lot more money flowing through the altcoin market cap now than what we did see even yesterday, as we do see that yesterday's low was around 1.16 trillion. So there is a lot more money flowing through alts just at the moment. So we could see a little bit of a rally on altcoins before Bitcoin, kind of does that correction or does its major move upward. So I'm watching this very closely, but this all plays perfectly into the idea of alt season, which is the idea of, a lot of money flowing through Bitcoin, then a lot of that money flows out of Bitcoin and into large cap gems, then mid-tier gems, and then small cap assets. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on. If you guys don't want free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night, wherever you guys joined us before. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.